Hello, my name's Sarah and I'm from Little Angel Theatre, and I'm going to show you how to make this really cute frog puppet. As you can see, he's got a tongue that flips out and a mouth that opens and closes. He is suitable for 6 to 11-year-olds to make on their own, or for 3 to 5-year-olds to make with a little bit of help. So let's get started. First of all, what do you need? The main thing you need for this is 2 paper plates and a selection of paper and card. If you don't have those things, don't worry, I'll be giving you ideas for alternatives along the way. You also need some scissors, glue, a pencil, and a stapler comes in really handy as well. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is get our plates ready. Now, if you don't have paper plates at home, don't panic, because what you can do is use a real plate and draw around it. If you get some thin card, maybe a cereal box, something like that, draw around it twice and you'll end up with very similar to having two paper plates. So what you need to do with your first plate is you're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to cut it in half. So you're going to cut it along the fold that you've just made, like so. The second paper plate, you just have to fold it in half. So don't cut it, just fold that one. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue the cut plates on top of the folded plate. And the reason we're doing that is because we're making the hole which your hand will go in so that you can open and close the puppet's mouth. So all you need to do is get your glue and glue around the edge of the plate, just the edge. Remember, because we want to leave a gap here and here for our hand, and stick one of the cut pieces on. And then you're going to do the same on the other side. Glue just around the edge and stick your other cut side on, so that you've got now 2 slots to put your hand in. Now you'll notice that it might come apart a little bit if you try to put your hand in. So a top tip is to use your stapler to just do a little staple on the edges where your hand goes in, just to secure it so that it doesn't come apart when your hand goes in. But also, once the glue dries, it should be fine anyway. So now I can put my hand in without it falling apart, but it fell apart. So I'm just going to put another little staple there to hold it in place. So there we go. Now I'm putting my hand in and I can open and close my frog's mouth without everything falling apart. So now you've got your basic shape for your puppet, we need to do some decorating. So you'll need 2 colours, one colour for the outside of your frog, the skin, and another colour for the inside of the frog's mouth. So the way you could do that is you could paint it, and obviously if you're painting, you'll need to leave some time for it to dry before you do the final details. You could use felt pens to colour in. You could use cut out magazine or wrapping paper pieces and collage over. I'm going to use, and you could use if you've got it as well, tissue paper. And I've already cut mine to size for speed. So all I did was draw around each half of the plate onto the tissue paper and cut it out. So you're going to cover the whole of the plate, the bit that you want to stick onto with glue, And remember, this is the outside, so the skin of the frog, the side with the holes in. And do it one half at a time. Don't do the whole thing at once, because you need to leave a gap for your hand to go in. And do the other side. So glue all over, and then paper on the top like that. So there's the outside of my frog. And then the inside of the frog's mouth. Again, I'm doing it in 2 halves rather than sticking the whole thing on at once. And that's because if you stick one big piece on, when you open and close the mouth, it might rip. So it's better to do it in 2 halves. So there's 1 half, and then I'm going to do the other half. And I'm just doing this quickly, but you can do it much more neatly than this. So there we go. There is basically the outside covered in green for the frog's skin, and the inside red for the inside of its mouth. Now I'm going to add a tongue. And the way I'm going to do that is I've got some red paper, and I'm just going to cut a strip of paper to make a nice long flicky tongue. If you haven't got red paper, that's okay. You can use white paper and colour it in red. And I'm also going to cut out a little triangle at the end so that my tongue is a little forked tongue as well. That's quite nice to do. Now, to make it a flicky tongue, I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to roll my paper around the pencil. And if I wrap it all the way around, when I take it off, it becomes all curly. There you go, badoing, badoing. And then all I need to do is pop a little bit of glue on the end of it and stick it inside my froggy's mouth. And now he's got a beautiful, flicky, boingy tongue. Next thing you need to add is eyes. Now, I have used green card and drawn 2 little humps, and I've made them quite nice and big because frogs have big bulgy eyes, and I've used white paper and black paper to make the eyeballs, and I've stuck them on. Again, if you haven't got all these different coloured papers, you can just use white and colour them in with felt pens. Now make sure you make them long enough to be able to fold the end back, because that's how you stick it onto your frog. So I've folded the end of the eye. I'm going to put some glue on the bottom, and then I'm going to stick it onto the top of my frog puppet like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same with the other one. Fold it down, put a bit of glue on there on the bottom, and then stick it on to my frog puppet. And now he has eyes and a tongue. You could leave it at that, but a nice finishing touch is to add some little froggy webbed feet. So again, I just drew these onto green card. But if you haven't got green card, you can use white and colour it in. And another top tip is anytime you want to make 2 of the same thing, get your paper or card and fold it in half, and then just draw one of the thing that you want and cut it out with the paper still folded, and then you'll end up with 2 exactly the same. So that's what I did with this. And you're going to glue these onto the bottom of your frog. I'm just going to actually staple mine right now just for speed. But if you want yours to look neater and not have a staple showing, then you can glue it on with some glue. So now I've got my froggy feet on there as well. So that is the frog puppet finished. So all you have to do is put your hand, your fingers in the top and your thumb in the bottom, and then you can make your froggy talk, and he can flick his tongue, and there might even be a golden ball for him to find and a princess for him to kiss. Ribbit, ribbit. Thank you and see you next time. Bye.